Hey everybody, it's Oriansenshi here with another video. This is going to be a character build video. It's going to be kind of exciting. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I used to love watching these. It gave me a lot of really great ideas that I've used in some of my characters since then. I've seen them for like D&D and a bunch of other stuff, but I haven't seen any stuff recently from Mutants Masterminds 3rd Edition. I saw that there was a channel that used to do a lot of them, and I haven't seen any stuff up in a while, so I decided, you know what, I love building characters, so I'm going to build a character with you guys. This might go well, this might go terribly, we'll see what happens. I have a general idea in my head of what I want it to look like, and this is also going to be an example of something that I talked about in my last video, where I'm starting in the Basic Heroes Handbook, going to make a character, and then I'm going to add up the points after I've made the character, and then after I've done that, I'm going to see how many points I've left over, and then I'm going to jump over to the Deluxe Heroes Handbook after dealing with all of these points and see about changing some things up in order to really personalize the character and start with this base and make a new, unique, and exciting hero, okay? So I'm starting on page 24 if you guys want to jump in and follow along of the Basic Heroes Handbook. We are starting with it's a powerhouse. I'm going to make a Metamorph Powerhouse. Now, Metamorph is someone who, like, they have their human form. That's just them. They're pretty strong in and of themselves. They have a nice suite of skills and advantages that they can utilize to effectively just be dangerous themselves and be able to keep up with a lot of other people. But they have this alternate form where they gain enhanced strength and stamina, and they don't need to breathe. They can't be like, you can't get them with like disease or stuff like that. And their skin becomes so thick that their toughness becomes impervious, and they can either have super speed or super long leaps. So it's up to you how you do that. You can flavor it however you want. It could be they have a glowing avatar that surrounds them, gives them extra strength. It could be that they bulk up. It could be they turn into like some kind of cosmic energy being. It's up to you how you flavor that. And that's one of the things I love about Mutants and Masterminds is you could flavor anything anyway. So let's get started. Start a powerhouse. I'm going to start with a girl. We're going to name her Linda. Alright. Played by, alright, wee, misspelled my own name. And, actually, her hero name is going to be Golem of Justice. And her name is going to be Linda. And it's a secret identity. Well, she is a female. Alright, let me make sure you guys can see that. Yep, okay, great. Okay. I'll make her like 21. We'll deal with all the rest of that stuff later. But let's get started. Okay, so we start with the base strength score of 4, stamina of 4, agility of 0. She's not super agile. Dexterity of 1, fighting of 6, ready to get rough and tumble. Intellect of -1, not the brightest cookie. We'll have to do something about that. Awareness of 1, presence of 1. All right, so we've already got a nice thing there. So from this, we have 3 choices. We can either make her like big, where she's just naturally strong. We can make her cautious, where she's always looking for try to stay in control of her alternate form of her strength, or we can make her gentle, where she tries to deal with everything as peacefully as possible and avoid conflict. We are going to go with big, so the strength goes up to 5, and intelligence goes up to 0. Yikes. Presence goes up to 2. Okay, so we got some stuff there. Now defenses. Now we're gonna start with the base defenses here. Alright, so her base dodge is gonna get, now dodge is based on agility. Agility right now is 0, and she's getting 8 there, right? Parry is based on fighting, so she already gets 6. She's getting 2 more to bring that up to 8 as well. Fortitude is based on stamina. Her stamina is already 4, but not getting anything added to that. And will is based on, so we're going to put that 4 in there because that's the base 4. Whoops, no, that's toughness. Well, they're both based on stamina, so it's fine. And will is +5, and that is based on awareness. Her awareness is 1, so that brings her up to 6 will. Okay. Alright, so now, before we jump into powers, we're going to jump down here to skills. Yep. Okay, so her skills. She automatically gets close combat unarmed, right? That comes with the entire thing, and she gets 2 ranks in that. And her ability for that is based on her fight, which is 6. Yeah. So she's really good at hand-to-hand combat. Alright, so let's get 2 areas that she's studied to like decide this. I want to go with, I want her to be like kind of nerdy in her human form. So we're gonna go with yeah, we're gonna go with so we're gonna go with games, where you spent some time designing the best gaming setup and you gain some new skills as part of it. So that is 4 ranks in perception. Right? 4. Perception is innately in awareness, so that she has 1 awareness. So that is 5. Technology 4, because she's good with tech. And that is based on intellect, which is 0. And vehicles. Now, I'm actually really curious how vehicles fits into gaming, but you know what? We're just gonna run with it. We are literally just gonna run with it. And vehicles is based on. I use the skill so much. I want to say Dex, but I use the skill so little that I don't remember off the top of my head what the vehicle skill is used with. Dex, okay. And her Dex is what, like a 1? Yeah, it's a 1, okay. Alrighty. Okay, so that's that. Now we get one more area of either academics, interrogation, observation, piloting, or sports. So she's nerdy, so we're gonna go with academics, right? Where she's she knows her way around stuff. So academics get 2 areas of expertise and perception +4. So that will bring the perception up to 8. Great, and 2 areas of expertise. We're gonna say gaming. Just in general, just expert at games. And so she's got 4 ranks. It's based on intellect, which that's a 0. She's nerdy. What would a nerdy gamer girl, real gamer girl, not fake gamer girl, be really knowledgeable about? We'll say everything I can think of would fit into there. Let's say she's a college student. So she's going to school for game design. So if she knows game design, she has to know business. Okay. So she's got some business. I probably misspelled that terribly. Alright, cool. So we've got a close combat. We've got all that other stuff. Great. Alright, now we jump over to advantages. She innately gets power attack. That literally just comes with being strong. With this is you just get power attack. even in her human form, she has power attack. So how power attack works is you can anyone can attempt a power attack, which is where you can decrease the on hit what you roll, what your bonus to hit the target. To whatever you decrease, you add to the actual damage. And if you don't have the power attack advantage, you can only do that up to 2. And then, but you always have to remember the limit, which is you cannot decrease a stat below 0, and the stat you increase, you cannot more than double. That's a very important thing to keep track of. So it's always important to make sure the stats on both ends are high enough that you don't run into that issue. Alright, so let's see. Driven, lucky, overbearing, protective, precise, and unstoppable. She's a gamer girl, so she's a gamer, so I'm gonna say she's precise. That gives accurate attack, which actually is the exact same thing as power attack, but the opposite direction. So these advantages allow you to do these instead of up to 2, you can do them up to 5. And improved grab. Ooh, that's dirty. Oops. Okay. Cool. I have to. Whoop. I reached the end of that. Okay. Improved grab. That's still not bad. All right. So then I get one more thing. So she's precise. Let's say she's driven to achieve her goals. So driven comes with improved initiative and ultimate effort for toughness checks. Okay. Alright, so now we go to our Powersuite of Metamorph. So because the Metamorph has some of their powers locked away in their transform state, they invest in a lot of things to increase the capabilities of the regular human state, right? So we get +2 intellect. This is in human state. +2 awareness, bringing that up to 3. And +2 presence, bringing that up to 4. She is a charismatic girl. So let's adjust these. Awareness, because that +2 goes up to 8. Yep, so it is 2 to intelligence, awareness, and presence. So all of these went up by 2. That went up to 3. Alright. Yes, that goes up. Ooh. Wrong button. 2. That is Dex. That is untouched by any of this. Alright. Okay. Alright, and she gets 1 extra skill package because she's invested in herself. So she's got academics, she's got games. Let's give her sports. Let's say she's when she got her powers, she started investing in actually training her. Training herself. So we're gonna give her sports. That gives me athletics 6. Oops, that is acrobatics. That is based on strength, which is 4, 5. Ooh, that's nice. Alright. Ranged combat throwing 6. That's going to be entertaining. throw is based on dex. Yep, so we got 1 dex, okay. And that's it, 6 and 6. Okay. And she gets 1 extra advantage. So she's already got driven and precise. Let's give her unstoppable, which comes with improved smash and takedown. Okay. Now, one thing I do like to do is down here in the notes, in the notes section, write down these words that we've been using to describe her, because that can help with keeping track of this. She started as big, academic, games, sports, driven, precise, unstoppable. There are 2 P's in unstoppable. Okay. Okay, so we've got all of that. So now you're wondering, what about the powers? Which is now where we're at right now. Okay. So let's jump right in here. Okay, so we've got her alternate form. And we're going to say it takes a free action to take. So this is something I know from going through the deluxe handbook. Alternate form, in this situation, it's costless. If it had a cost, that would mean that it takes some effort to transform into. So alternate form just means that you, let's see, what am I doing here? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to do 5 there. Okay. So we know this is the alternate form. Alternate form just means these powers are only accessible when you transform. Alright, so let's go. So we have stamina. I'm going to shorten it to STA. +8. STR for strength. +7. T10, which is life support. I'll go into that later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and let's make these all caps. I like to keep things organized because it just makes, if you have a style, it makes it easier to tell what you were meaning by something. Alright, so then impervious, toughness 12. That doesn't mean you're adding 12 toughness. That means you're making the regular toughness impervious, and I'll go over that in just a second. Right? Now, last part here is, do I want her to have leaping or do I want her to have super speed? That's hard. We are gonna say, because she has super speed, she can be fast and strong and just beat the crud out of people, which is kind of the goal here. Yeah, we're going to say leaping 4, which is 120 feet at 30 miles an hour. I'll put that one line down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. How do I know that? It's because this everything doubles as you rank up. Leaping is rank -2 of distance. Got it. And I know it I just know it hits 30 miles an hour when it does that. Alright. So at the end, you would say that's it. Like you keep track of her stuff. When she transforms, she gets +7 strength. So this can go. This goes from that to 12 when she transforms, right? Her stamina goes from 4 to 12 when she transforms, right? Which means her fortitude goes up to 12 as well. And her toughness goes up to 12 as well. Which is pretty nuts, right? This like this. Oh, I can't put that in there. Okay. I can't put symbols in there. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're going to put this down real quick. Right? Let's keep track of her primary forms of combat, right? Which are going to be unarmed. Which is normally going to get a plus... Well, it's always going to get +8, right? Its damage is either going to be 5 or 12. Which means the DC is either going to be 20 or 27. So far, so good. Okay, got it. Throw is based off of her ability to pick things up and throw them, like throwing cars at bad guys and stuff. Is aiming is based off the dexterity, but she has ranks in it, so it is +7 because 1 plus 6 is 7. Cool. And the damage on that is the exact same damage as her unarmed swing. Right, which is either going to be 5 or 12, with a damage DC of 20 or 27. And you know that's pretty solid. It's a very solid character that does really great stuff, and she gets +4 initiative because she has 1 rank of improved initiative. Initiative is based on agility. She has 0 agility. Bam. So, life support means that you can't, essentially, you can operate in a vacuum. You don't need to breathe, and you're immune to most diseases and airborne poisons. And, like, that's really good. And what I like about this design is that this character can be fully functional in its human form, as well as in its... in her transform state. These advantages are just her. So if she gets caught out, and for whatever reason her powers get nullified and she can't transform. Now we could very well put, like, because we have to put complications in here, right? She could. You need at least 2 complications for a character. At least one of them needs to be motivation based. So she could be motivated to try to, like, protect the innocent or something. And her other thing could be a weakness. There could be some kind of a thing, a MacGuffin, that renders her unable to transform, right? And all of a sudden, what's she gonna do? Well, she hits not terribly hard. Her punches do 5 damage, which is roughly the same damage as a military grade rifle in this game. So, like, I don't know about you, but I don't know too many people who punch with the same force as a rifle. Just random gamer girl punches you, and I don't mean as same force. I mean it does the same damage as a bullet piercing your skin. That's... Oh, I just realized you guys can't even see that at all. Yeah, 5, like... I mean, albeit, if she worked at McDonald's, we'd probably have YouTube videos of her, but I'll bump. So, how do we jump forward into this, shaping this character using the Deluxe Heroes Handbook? Well, let's go through and let's look at the point totals for all of her things, right? So, every ability score costs 2 points, right? So we're not counting the stuff in parentheses because that's going to be counted as part of her powers, right? So we're looking straight at abilities, right? 50 points in abilities, right? Cool. It's pretty hefty in the ability department, but she's a very well-rounded character with a lot of stuff at her disposal. So, jumping right along, her defenses, because every point in defenses costs 1 point. So she has 8 for her dodge. Parry makes it 10 because it's 2. 0 for the fortitude. Will makes it 15. Okay. Alright. That's cool. Now, every advantage listed here costs 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 in advantages. Right? Skills. Every 2 ranks in a skill costs 1 point. So whereas with abilities you add it up and multiply by 2, with this you add it up and divide by 2. So we have 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 30, 34, 38. So she has 38 ranks, which is going to be 19, sorry. 38, 19, yep. Alright, so now let's look at her powers. Alright, so I'm actually going to write this up here because it makes it a lot easier to keep track of. Alright, so these are costed normally, so that's 15, so that's 30 there. Immunity 10 costs 10 points, so that's 40 there. Impervious toughness makes your toughness impervious. So if that only costs 1 per rank, there's 12, so that is 52. Right? And leaping 4 costs 4, so that is 56. And this is exactly what I was talking about right now. You're sitting at 147 spent points. There are 3 points that have not been spent right now. That can be any number of things, and so whenever you're making a character with the basic Heroes Handbook, and you have that, like I said, 3 to 5 points floating that you're not doing anything with, you can, like, if you're GMing a campaign in the basic Heroes Handbook, and your players are making their characters out of the basic Heroes Handbook, let them get equipment. Let them, like, if they don't want to go through all of this, add this up and look for something else. That 3 points can be, they have a headquarters somewhere. They don't have to define it. They just know they have a headquarters. They have a house. That could be. They could have. You could spend that on cell phone. You could spend that on any number of other things. Don't get a stickler about stuff. You can kind of just have that 3 points floating as just a nebulous thing of generic supplies. That is up to you how you want to do that. Some GMs make having a cell phone cost something. I generally only make having a cell phone cost something if it's a part of their superhero work. If they have incorporated their cell phone, their personal cell phone, into their costume, right, and is used as part of their communication gear, as part of their research gear, if they have AI running on their cell phone, then yes, I do make them pay for it. If not, I don't generally make my players pay extra points for having a cell phone. So, we've got our Golem of Justice named Linda. Right, and so she's pretty complete, but she has some extra points. You could take extra advantages or some extra skills in order to round that out, but I want to try something a little bit different, okay? I want to fundamentally change how her power package works, right? She's a very simple character. She's very buff and durable with impervious toughness. When she transforms, she gets in there, she pummels on bad guys. Also, I should keep note of she has improved grab, so I should probably record her grab. which is based off of fighting score. So that's going to be +6. She doesn't have anything there, and whenever she grabs someone, the save to get free is going to be 22. Right? So she uses her strength, and what that does, improved grab means that she is not invulnerable. There we go. Improved grab means she's not vulnerable whenever she's grabbing. Normally, when you grab someone, you can't do a whole lot of stuff because you're focused on holding them, and that uses up both of your hands, so you can't do anything else. Well, she has improved grab, which means, dun da da, she can hold someone in one hand while beating somebody else with the other. She can still perform actions. She can jump, leap, do all that stuff while holding someone up. All right, so let's take this on. So the idea is that she turns into this hulking cosmic golem, right? Now I'm not treating her as a she still can be affected by fortitude and will, which constructs can't, because she's still a human under there, right? So there's some concepts that the Basic Heroes Handbook did not touch on that I think could be very much explored and just be really exciting with what you do with it. And so, with that said, let's jump right in here, okay? There is a power called Growth, which is that power makes you bigger. Really simple, easy to understand. As you get bigger, your stamina and your strength go up, right? Also, as part of being bigger, you can't dodge and parry as well, so your dodge and parry go down. Your size ranks go up. That increases how much you weigh. Like that limits where you can transform, what you can do. Also, your intimidation goes up, and your stealth goes down. Very complex power, and the Basic Heroes Handbook did not use it, did not feature it, did not touch on it at all. And you know what? I applaud them for that, because that is a lot to feed new players, right? It is a very complex power with a lot of strengths and weaknesses, and a new GM who doesn't know how to properly balance a game will not know how to limit the players using growth, and because of how little it costs for growth, because every rank of growth increases strength and stamina, and growth itself as a power only costs 2 per rank. So that means, dun da da, you could get growth for half the price of getting increased strength and stamina. But the limitation is there's some buildings you don't fit into, some places you can't go. You know your dodge and parry go down, so that can be a very big cost depending on the situation. And yeah, they don't touch on it. I'm gonna work with it right now. So my idea here is that I want her to get huge, to become like a 60-foot, like maybe no. Yeah, I'll go 8. So I want her to become a 30-foot tall hulking behemoth of a character, right? So I still want her to land on 12, but I'm gonna have to decrease her base strength down to 4, right? So that decreases the abilities down to 48 to compensate for that, right? Which means base damage is going to go down to 4 for her punches, which means her punches will only do as much damage as a pistol. Ooh, so much nerf. Her fist will actually do as much damage as a pistol or a shotgun. I should probably put her DC for the... Okay, so it's 14 in human form, 22 in transformed state, right? Simple stuff, right? So we're changing up these numbers right now. It was 56. I'm gonna move. I'll have to move immunity life support somewhere else because I'm gonna need this line. Alright, so we just take this out right here. +8 strength, stamina, +4 intimidation. So for every 2 ranks of growth, you gain 1 rank of intimidation. +1 speed, longer legs. Alright, we're just gonna scoot that over so I get some more space. Or just abbreviate it. There we go. Still continuing. Still continuing here. We've got strength, stamina, intimidation, speed, -8 to dodge and parry, so that hurts. Sorry, no, -4 dodge and parry. I was like, wait a minute, that should go the opposite way of intimidation. So whenever you gain 1 in intimidation, you lose 1 in dodge and parry. But you lose, for every rank, you lose a full rank in stealth. So we got -8 stealth. Alright, so that's a lot of stuff packed into one. And again, this only costs 2 per. But I'm adding a couple riders onto this, right? Because growth is in and of itself the power to change, to increase your size, right? What I'm adding onto this is something called permanent and innate, which gives me a net cost of increasing this cost by 1. Not 1 per rank, but just 1. What that means is this form is just innately big. It is just permanently and innately big. She cannot choose to change her size of this form, and it cannot be the size cannot be nullified. It is just an innate portion of this alternate form. The alternate form can be nullified, but the size cannot. Okay, so, and now I have to get all the rest of her powers back on here. So I know she had immunity. Life support. She had immunity, life support. I'm going to shorten this to imperv. Tough 12. Leaping 4. Okay. Okay, so that's not bad. This actually changed up a lot of the costs. So when she transforms, these go down to 0 right now. That's problematic. That is very problematic now. Instead of this whole portion here costing 30 points, which is what it did, it actually goes down to 17. So this is 17 plus 10 makes it 27, plus 12 makes it 39, plus 4 makes it 43. Okay. So it's a pretty big drop, right? Between nerfing the abilities, now why did I have to nerf the abilities? It's in order to keep this from going overboard. But yeah, so that's a really, really big drop. Now alternatively, what I can do to compensate here, right, is if I increase her dodge and parry by 4 in her human state, right? That makes her dodge and parry 12 and her toughness then the toughness is still gonna be 4. So she's just under power level, but she's gonna be the same amount under. And then I'd actually have to increase it by 8. Yes, I'd have to increase both of them by 8. Wait a minute. Sorry, I can't math. They get -4, not -8, so they go down to 4 each. Okay. I was about to say, I can't math. There we go. Okay. So in her transform state, she has dodge and parry of 4, and the toughness, yeah. So not bad. Not bad at all. But she just loses so much for going big. But because of how this pans out, right? Her human form. So your dodge plus toughness and your parry plus toughness can't go to more than twice the power level. This is a power level 10 character, right? So we cannot have the sum of those go above 20, and fortitude and will are the same way. So these are power level limits, which I'll go into it actually in my next video that I'm probably going to be uploading on Monday. Is going to be talking about power level limits, what I think they add to the game, what I think they take from the game, and how they operate, and what purpose they serve. So you have to really operate around the power level limits in order to remain super functional, right? So if I increase her dodge and parry by 4 each, that makes 12, and so that it gets her base form closer to the power level limit, not all the way there. She'd have to increase them by 8, but if she increased them by 8, then her super form would run out. Like, it would overshoot the power level limits. But so that's what we're gonna do right now. We're giving her an extra 8 ranks of defenses, so that's gonna go up to 23. All right, so that's 12, and this goes down to 8. Now there is the other way around this, right? Instead of making her more agile, I could have doubled down on her durability, right? I could have given her enhanced armor. I very much could have just said, we will keep her base form at where it was, and then give her some protection, some armor plating on her golem form. But yeah, if I gave her 4 points of armor plating on her golem form, that would have been impervious, would have given her 16 toughness, but she's not dodging anything. But I kind of like the idea of her being like a nimble, that she's big, but she's fast. And she's very nimble, very active, and she's 30 feet tall, so you get this 30 feet tall hulking behemoth that is not only powerful and can hit like a truck, but also really big. And also really fast. So that's where we're going with that, right? So we still have 10 points left to play with here. We could take extra advantages, or we could go a slightly different route. So we could expand on that, right? So the idea is she's turning into this big golem, right? And which is enhancing her abilities. And what if we gave her something more than just throwing rocks at people? You know, what if we gave her an additional power, right? But we're gonna have to crowbar it in there because we've only got 10 points left, right? So I'm thinking, what if we gave her like an energy blast, like da? Actually, I might trade off. Yeah, so we're gonna take away the range combat throw skill. Right, so we're just taking that away. So that is 6 points taken away from skills. That's 3 points because I only took 6 off. So that goes down to 16 skills, which is still 32 ranks, which is very nice. So now I have actually 13 points to play with for this, right? So let's run with this, right? Want her to have a blast, but I want her to do a decent amount of damage. I want it to be exclusive to her golem form, right? So we'll say energy blast. Damage like ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah, that works. Okay. This is me just coming up with something off the top of my head. So, for creating a damage power, right? Base damage of like melee costs 1 point per rank, and then you need a point for range, right? Per rank. So with the biggest damage I could do would be like 12 points. I mean, it would be like 6 points, 6 ranks of damage range, which would be like 12 points. And then I have like 1 point left over to add like accuracy, so then she could have like a +3 to hit for a 6 point power. That just doesn't feel relevant, right? But I'm saying, what if she's got an energy blast that hits everything in a line, right? So that is still gonna cost 2 points because the line costs that, but you don't have to worry about accuracy because you don't have to hit; they have to dodge. So then that gives this dichotomy of she has the normal punch, right? That's her roll to hit attack, and then the energy blast is the you need to get out of the way dodge, right? So I can make it a line or a cone. We are gonna say, for blast here. Why is it so goofy? Okay, so I was trying to check what the range was on this, but we are going to say energy beam, right? Area damage. I'm gonna say 10 because 10 is the cap. You cannot have a thing that is that where they check a saving throw that is more ranks than the ranks of your power level. So power level 10, max can use 10. So you're probably thinking, well, that's 20 points. We don't have 20 points, so I'm gonna compensate. So. I'm going to say limited 5 shots. Bam. I'll just say 5 shots. 5 shot limit. Okay, there we go. Now that fits in line. Okay. So what does this do here? This is what's called the limited flaw. This is one other thing that we have to explore here, where flaws adjust the cost. Whereas when you add something, it increases the cost. When you add a limiter, it decreases the cost, right? So the 5 shot limit means she can only shoot 5 things before needing to recharge, exit battle, detransform, whatever, right? And that can be that means she just won't have it in long protracted combat, right? But that cuts it down by 1 rank. 1 per rank, not 1 rank. 1 per rank. So we have damage is 1 per rank, area makes it 2 per rank, the 5-shot limit brings it back down to 1 per rank. So that is now only costing 10. Right? So that brings me up to 53. Hope you guys are going with me so far. I know this has been a long video. Alright, so what have we got here? So, we still are back down to our 3 points, right? What we've done at this point is we've added a growth power that it can be limiting to her because she can only fit in spaces because she can turn to a 30-foot behemoth, right? We've increased her humanoid stats in order to give her an edge in her in order to keep her still mobile and transformed, and that means that if she gets caught in her human form, she's not in a terrible position, right? We've given her, you know, the energy beam that she can blast. Now, because I'm increasing her dodge and parry, we're saying like we're making her a little bit more like mobile and stuff. So what if I put those 6 points into, for instance, acrobatics? Right? And then she got a 0 in dexterity and agility, I mean. Then all of a sudden, skills go back up to 19. Now, I could have done anything with that. I could have put that anywhere. I could have gotten her more advantages. This brings her back up to the 50. This brings her to an even 150. And she's now extremely agile. She's acrobatic, right? In her own way. And just better able. Like, she has some extra training in acrobatics. And yeah, she's big, she's academic, she likes games and sports, she's driven, precise, and unstoppable. Could be a powerful role model. And she gets really, really big. We're talking 30 feet tall when she transforms. The other thing to be, so, what does this character do when she's not transformed? Well, she punches things. She punches, she throws, she grabs. And her improved grab she can still do in a human state. It's just a lot easier to get out of her grab when she's in human form. So, yeah, this has been my first build video. It kind of went really, really long. I'm going to have to do a lot of video editing and cutting in a little bit in order to put this all together. But I really like it. Now, if you were to do something like this, and I was actually inspired by an image from Magic the Gathering of some big cosmic golem with like different elemental orbs floating around it or whatnot. There's an infinite number of things you could have done here. Actually, let me put her energy beam. There is we're just gonna put the dodge DC, which is gonna be 20. Damage 25. Oh, sorry. Damage 10. DC 25. 60. And line. I think it's a 60-foot. I think it's a 60-foot line. $30. Probably should have made it a cone. Because she can run 30 feet. Yeah, let's make it a cone. Yeah, there's a lot of chance of her catching her allies in the blast. Which is something to be careful of. There we go. Cones. Bam. She got 5 shots. Her energy beam can shoot really hard. So then we turn this from a beam to a wave. And again, you can flavor the thing any way you want. I put the 20 there instead of an on hit because there isn't an on hit, but they have to roll against the DC 20 to try to get out of the way of the wave. That was fun. I have more of these build videos coming up. Hopefully they'll be more concise. Hopefully I'll have an idea before I start, or maybe I'll just keep doing it this way with just, you know, random ideas as I go. But yeah, this has been Oriansenshi with this build video on the Golem of Justice, Linda. Maybe I'll use her in an adventure or something that I'll post on here. Maybe I'll go through some other stuff. Like, comment, subscribe for even more goodness, and I hope that all of you have a wonderful day and keep on pushing forward as you work to achieve your dreams, chase your stars, and have wonderful adventures. Have a good one, everybody.